Alright, so I don't know if this is recording or not. I'm going to start again. So this is Estevez Gomez. Estevez Gomez was an explorer, Portuguese explorer, and he left from Portugal over 500 years ago, or about 500 years ago, and he sailed up the Penobscot River to this area over here, which is the Penobscot River. The Penobscot River goes along Maine coast. Maine is situated in the northeast of the United States, and so if you go up our rivers, this is kind of the northern part you can go as the Penobscot because the elevation changes. In the summer, Megan and I we like to go to the folk festival. During the folk festival, I think it's sometime in October. It's a very popular thing. We all park in that parking garage over here, and that's kind of where we stay. We use the parking garage, and we'll walk over to the folk festival area, which is down by the bridge. Very popular. You'll find like a lot of local folk festival dancing and things like that. You know, I don't know if what they do kind of in your country. Ours is kind of like a public-private partnership, so the Bangor City Council will pay for, they'll actually pay for a little bit, and then like they'll pay for the police, and you know, kind of like, and they'll kind of help with keep parking normal and okay and things like that, so it's not so like obnoxious or whatnot. So that's kind of what they do there, and this is the parking garage. They'll park, and that thing will be completely full. So this city here, this is Bangor, city of Bangor. Bangor is situated about almost in the center of Maine. They call it Eastern Maine, actually, because supposedly this eastern section of Maine, this is the eastern section of Maine, but not really. It's almost actually dead center in Maine. So Bangor is a city about 35,000 people or so. And these 35,000 people came up here originally. The first wave was actually the Irish. So the Irish made up the first wave during the initial immigration. Actually, it was the English, but for the most part, the most immigrants were actually the Irish. So the Irish made up a majority of the people that immigrated to the state of Maine as the first wave, and they came up here for mill jobs. See how this is kind of man-made. I'll kind of show you. This is kind of like a man-made type of canal here, and we use these canals for various purposes. We used them as kind of a non-electrical power source at first for the early shoe shops and textile manufacturing, which were built in the 1800s, and for logging. Like if you find the river down, see we floated a lot of logs here, and then later on we used it for electrical power. So actually Maine was quite the manufacturing hub, and at one time actually Bangor was a larger city, actually had more people here because we had a decent amount of manufacturing jobs here. But as the manufacturing jobs kind of went to another part of the world, which is most China, Southeast Asia, you know, because we had a lot of the shoe factories, a lot of the wood logging too. I actually went to Canada, believe it or not. So we kind of lost a lot of that part of our industry, and as those jobs dried up, they were replaced by finance, insurance, real estate, medical care, and mostly service sector jobs. So as you can see here, like Camden National Bank, like everywhere you go, there's a bank. It's all about finance, you know. So we don't build anything. Now, I mean, not this part of the country. We don't really build anything anymore. So which is a shame, because we used to build a lot of things here. I know your country uses, you know, has natural resources, and you exploit those and things like that. Also high tech. We've got some cool, interesting high tech stuff from where you're from. So this is kind of, for the most part, it's a nice city. Bangor is a rather nice city. The crime rate's quite low. Per capita, Maine, my state that I live in, has one of the lowest crime rates in the United States. It's very safe. You know, often people move here just because they feel significantly safer than they did when they lived at home. So, and Bangor is about 35,000 people. We have a kind of a state college. It's kind of our flagship, which is about 15 miles north of here in a town called Orono. And that town has about 10,000 people, actually. I don't know if I wrote you about that house, but we were going to buy a house there, my fiance and I. So this is kind of our canals, and it's actually quite lovely. And I've kind of always wanted to live here because it really is a beautiful place to live. You know, I would definitely could see myself living here in this area just because walking's great. But Megan has to have a direction. So if she's gonna go somewhere, she just wants to go, which is why she doesn't want to live in downtown, because for her, downtown means finding places that she can go in and just going. So you know, if there aren't any shops here that interest her, then she doesn't really see a point in actually living down here. I mean, I think she'd be happier living next to like the mall or something. I don't know. So yeah. You know, and I actually thought this might be a good place because, see, we had, oh shit.